What on earth was going on?
Strange things have been happening around the world lately. People are filming phenomena never seen before. Unusual sightings and bizarre things that no one can understand. In a shocking video from Pune, India, people looked up and saw what looked like an alien invasion in the sky. Huge swirling tornadoes of something dark and eerie spinning above the Mutha River were captured on several videos. It looked like an apocalyptic phenomenon. Everyone thought maybe the end was near. But to everyone's surprise, experts later revealed that it wasn't aliens or anything apocalyptic, just massive swarms of mosquitoes that people started calling mosquito tornado. No one really knows where they came from or why it looked that crazy. What did you think it was? Drop your first guess in the comments below. Mysterious portal. This beautiful and rare light phenomenon is called a sun candle or a sub-sun, and trust me, it looks as magical as it sounds. It happens when sunlight bounces off tiny ice crystals floating high up in the atmosphere. These crystals reflect the light in such a way that it creates a huge, glowing beam that looks so similar to a portal. Now call it a portal to another dimension, just nature playing with optical illusion. It's up to you, but it's definitely a breathtaking sight. Oil River. The Arabian Peninsula has the largest oil reserves in the world, and this video is the proof. These guys were traveling through the Arabian desert when they came across something really shocking. A whole river of crude oil flowing through the sand like it was water. Whether it was a natural leak or something else, this video left everyone stunned. They later informed the authorities about the find, and well, with this discovery, the region's wealth just keeps on growing. Mud volcano. This crazy video was captured at the Taban Wildlife Reserve in Lahad, Datu, Sabah, and what you see is a real mud volcano erupting. You can actually see thick, gray mud bubbling up and oozing out like something from a science experiment. It's not like a usual fiery volcano that we see everywhere, but this one got the same intensity. These volcanoes happen when underground gases push mud to the surface, which looks like this, of course. Pretty cool, right? Manitoba moth invasion. A few years ago, in Manitoba, people started noticing something really weird one day, when every light source was swarmed with moths. Streetlights, porch lights, even car headlights had so many of them flying around that everyone thought it was some kind of an invasion, and stepping outside meant getting your face full of moths. While it's normal to see a few during some seasons, this incident was on a whole different level. Kinda cool, kinda creepy, but definitely not something I'd want to walk through.
A lot of moths.
Birds free fall.
Hundreds of birds literally falling from the sky into a neighborhood. What on earth was going on?
This strange footage from Mexico really had people scratching their heads when a huge flock of yellow-headed blackbirds was peacefully flying through the sky. And then suddenly, hundreds of them just dropped straight to the ground, like something invisible pulled them down. Some managed to fly back up, but a lot of them didn't make it. What's weird is that there was no storm, no strong wind, nothing to explain it. Some people think maybe it was chemical in the air, while others think it was something else entirely, something more mysterious. But till now, no one really knows what happened exactly.
Best guess is this is a predator. This is a hawk or a falcon that's come into the flock.
Bug invasion. Let's go back to 2019 when southern Russia had a major bug problem. And I mean major. A giant swarm of locusts invaded the area and went straight for the farms. They ate everything. Crops, fields, you name it. Farmers tried using nets to block them and sprayed all sorts of insecticides, but nothing really worked. The locusts just kept coming like they owned the place. They ended up impacting a huge area, and people were left trying to protect whatever was left. It was total chaos for a while, but everything eventually calmed down.
3000 банка.
Creepy nightmare.
Very Hitchcock, Janet.
This family had not expected this in their wildest dreams. During a family trip to the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa, sometime around 1996, they parked their car near the beach and went for a short walk up the cliffs. But when they came back, their car had been taken over by dozens of these giant sea slaters, or what some call giant woodlice. These creepy crawlers were all over the beach earlier too, but no one expected them to invade the car like that. Maybe they found it a little cozy there. Well, don't worry, they somehow got their car back, though it definitely needed a few washes after that. Mountain mystery. This guy was out ice skating high up in the mountains when something strange caught his eye. Right in the middle of the snowy peaks, there was this bright, glowing hue. Not sunlight, not a reflection, something different. So he pulled out his camera and started recording. Later, he uploaded the video online, asking people what they thought it was, and the internet had many opinions. Some called it a natural light phenomenon, while others wondered if it could be a portal or doorway to another dimension. What do you guys think it was? Spider rain. In Sao Tome das Letras, Brazil, something really unsettling took place. A rare and eerie phenomenon that had locals terrified in their houses. On one random day, hundreds of spiders appeared to be falling from the sky, or more like raining from the sky. The video honestly looked unreal at first. People were stunned, thinking it had to be some kind of glitch or some mysterious creepy phenomenon. But what if I tell you it was all real? These spiders had actually made super thin webs, and the sunlight reflected them in a way that made it look like they were just floating midair. And what seemed like a bizarre phenomenon was simply a strange and natural occurrence. Descending clouds. These guys found something seriously weird in this forest. Clouds just casually floating on the ground, like actual puffy clouds right there between the trees. And this guy even tried catching it with his hands. But of course, he couldn't grab it. It looked super light and floaty, almost like fog, but way more cloud-like. No one really knows what caused it. Maybe cold air mixing with warm air? Who knows? Red River Mystery. This chilling footage shows the Rimac River running through Lima in Peru, mysteriously turning red. Everyone was stunned at the sight of it. Even more odd, the officials insisted that it was still safe to drink. Locals were alarmed by the sudden change to the river, which is the country's most important source of water, and didn't know whom to believe. No one had any explanation for this striking sight, but some people speculated maybe it was the work of a curse. Strange ritual. Take a look at this group of turkeys caught on camera while eerily walking in a perfect circle with one of them lying still in the middle. It happened in a quiet residential neighborhood, and someone managed to film the whole thing and posted it online. People went wild with their theories, with some calling it a cult performing a ritual, and others relating it to the end of the world. Well, that's disappointing, because no demons showed up. They had the sacrifice, the circle, and everything. Birds invasion.
Baby, you okay? Baby, where you at?
What if you looked up at the sky and saw this? Yeah, looks like snow at first, right? Got me fooled too. But nope. That's actually birds. Hundreds of them, just flying over a cruise ship like they own the place. The guy recording the video sounds pretty annoyed, and honestly, I get it. These birds were everywhere. On the decks, in the rooms, like a surprise invasion. The captain later made an announcement saying there was a storm ahead, and the birds probably saw the cruise ship as a safe shelter and got extremely close. Can't blame them, but still, that's a wild sight to witness in the middle of the ocean.
Baby, you okay? Baby, where you at?
Gravity-defying spot. Next on, there's a place in Maharashtra, India that's seriously gonna blow your mind. It's known as a spot where gravity just doesn't seem to work. Just like in this video, a guy spills water from a mountaintop, and instead of flowing down like normal, it goes upwards. It looks like the water is defying gravity. Many have tried this, and the result's always the same. Some say it's just because of the intense wind in upward direction, while others think there's something mysterious going on. Whatever it is, it's definitely one of the weirdest spots in India. Breathing forest. A few days after the storm Babet hit Mugdock, Scotland, this guy was out walking his dog on the usual path they've walked hundreds of times. But this time, something was strangely different. Upon reaching this one point, he noticed that the forest floor literally started to move, like it was breathing. Turns out, the winds from the storm were so strong, they lifted parts of the forest ground where roots were thin, making a small part of the forest bed ride and fall like a tablecloth. The guy even said he's never seen anything like it before. It was the weirdest, but in the coolest way possible. Reindeer cyclone. Here's something you don't see every day. A herd of reindeer in Murmansk, Russia, turned into a full-blown cyclone, spinning in perfect circles like a giant furry tornado when it was out for grazing. They started wondering why it was happening. Then someone said maybe it's because the vet's here to give them vaccines, and we can see they weren't too thrilled. The bucks instantly formed a spinning wall. For them, it's all about confusing the predator, so no one individual becomes the target. But at least, now I know. I'm not the only one afraid of injections. March to nowhere. This whole spinning in circles thing isn't just a deer thing. It's also been spotted in dolphins, elephants, sheep, and even ants. But ants have a different story altogether, especially army ants. They're blind and use pheromones to navigate, but sometimes one ant takes a wrong turn and the rest just follow, walking in endless circles. More ants join, thinking they're on the right track, and before you know it, it becomes this huge spiral. Sadly, they keep going until they can't anymore. Kinda unsettling, right? A tiny wrong turn, and boom, everyone's stuck in a loop. Gravity glitch. This strange footage was recorded near Mount Macedon, at a place locals call the Anti-Gravity Hill. The video shows a girl leaving a bottle on the road, expecting it to roll downhill like you'd expect. But wait, it starts rolling uphill. They seem very shocked and wonder how is that even possible? Because as you can see, there's no one messing around, and yet the bottle moves against gravity like it's nothing. Some people do say that it's all just an illusion caused by the surrounding landscape, but maybe, just maybe, there's something more to it. What do you think? Blood rain. This video shows something really bizarre. A beach in Iran turning completely red after a heavy rain. It happened on Hormuz Island, and honestly, it looks like the ocean turned into something else. No matter how strange it looks, this phenomenon actually has a natural reason behind it. The soil of this island is so rich in iron oxide, which gives it a bright red color. So when it rained, all that red soil mixed with the rainwater and flowed into the sea, leading up to this viral red beach video. Sure, it looks freaky at first glance, but in reality, it's just nature being kind of cool. Sky portal.
What the?
Among the many strange and beautiful sky events caught on camera, this one from Canada has to be one of the most bizarre. This guy was just out on a walk late at night when he noticed something weird going on above him. A strange light caught his eye, so he started recording, and within moments, the sky lit up with these insanely bright light pillars. Now scientists say it's just light reflecting off ice crystals, but not everyone buys that. Some say they're portals, others call it a sign of the end times. What do you guys think?
I have no idea what that is.
Texas blue rain.
How much would it take for you to drink that water?
Have you seen the recent videos of blue rain in Texas that are going viral? They're really strange. One video even shows a man walking up to a puddle on the side of the road, and it's actually blue, not just the reflection of sky. The locals were stunned after experiencing this rare and bizarre phenomenon, but no one really has a solid explanation for it yet. Some are calling it a chemical reaction, while others are blaming pollution. Whatever the cause, it really is one of the most bizarre things people have experienced in the area in a long time.
How much would it take for you to drink that water?
Weird quake. This shocking footage from Japan shows a rare natural phenomenon called liquefaction. It basically means the underground water being forced to the surface during this natural quake. And that's exactly what's happening in this video right now. This phenomenon literally turns solid ground into a slushy, unstable mess. Though it's quite fascinating, at the same time, it's a little unsettling to see the ground react like this. Tree fountain. In this video, a few guys were out exploring a forest when they came across something super cool. Water flowing straight out of a cut tree. They couldn't believe it at first, but once they saw it up close, they did what any curious person would do. Washed their faces and took a few sips of that fresh, natural water. Lucky them, right? They got to experience a really beautiful and rare moment of nature. Beached sighting.
In Australia, rescuers are trying to save dozens of pilot whales after almost 200 beached themselves at King Island in Tasmania.
Back in 2014, something really heartbreaking happened near King Island in Tasmania. Hundreds of whales suddenly beached themselves, and no one really knew why. It was one of the largest mass strandings ever recorded there, and the sight was just devastating. Rescuers did everything they could to help, but sadly, most of the whales didn't make it. At first, officials thought it was due to confusion in navigation, but locals think it might have been linked to sonar or underwater disturbances. What do you think caused this to happen?
One real popular theory is that there might be a lead animal or one of the members of the group that's sick and ends up closer to shore. Since pilot whales are very cohesive, very gregarious, they're very tight-knit groups, they end up following that one individual animal.
Dual sun. Imagine waking up and looking out the window, and suddenly the world has two suns. Sounds pretty crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what happened to this guy. And nope, he wasn't dreaming. He immediately grabbed his phone and started recording, because otherwise who would believe him? You can clearly see one bright sun, and just above it, another glowing ball of light. People started wondering if it was a rare optical illusion or something else entirely. What do you guys think it could be? Natural fountain. Alert, because this video will surely drive you crazy and you might not be able to stop watching it. This guy was just walking through a park somewhere in southeastern Europe when he spotted water literally pouring out of a tree. Yep. Just like a mini fountain coming straight from the trunk. He showed some experts the footage, and they blamed the recent heavy rainfall. The underground water somehow made its way up through the roots and started flowing out from the hollow trunk. Well, honestly, it looked so unreal that even I would have thought it was edited if I didn't see it myself. Halo phenomenon. This strange-looking video was recorded back in 2012 by someone hiking through St. John's in the Vale, in the English Lake District. The video features something called the Brocken Spectre, which is a rare shadowy phenomenon where your own shadow appears huge and glowing, surrounded by a rainbow-like halo. It was captured right above the small valley church in the background. While there is an obvious explanation available for this rare phenomenon, people still think there's something divine links to it. What do you think about this? Tell me in the comments below. Strange light. During winter, a strange phenomenon occurred that ended up being one of the most unusual optical illusions ever recorded. This happened in Alberta, Canada, when temperatures hit below 0 Fahrenheit, causing the snow to be blown in all directions. However, due to the light source facing upwards, the abnormal direction of the snow ended up causing a strange optical illusion that had some netizens scratching their heads. Moth takeover. A small town in France got a little surprise a few years ago. In Oyonnax, locals were shocked by the sudden invasion of thousands of moths around the town, mainly boxwood moths. They were literally everywhere, clinging to windows and swarming around streetlights. People thought maybe the town's streetlights were attracting them, but it's never been this bad before. What do you think was the reason behind this strange occurrence? And about Oyonnax, things there are pretty peaceful now. Dust Devil surprise. Among the strangest things happening around the world lately, these dust devils have definitely earned a place. Just like this one captured on camera, appeared out of nowhere in a public place, sending clothes flying and people running to safety. Though rare and short-lived, these whirlwinds can grow large enough for everyone to avoid them at all costs. They pick up dust, debris, and whatever's in their path, so it's better to just stay out of the way. Luckily, everyone was safe in this one, but still, that was wild. Circle of confusion. Now we've seen turkeys, deer, and even ants doing that strange circle spin. But sheep? Yup, they've joined the club too. In Biotu, China, a flock of sheep started walking in perfect circles for 12 straight days. It started with just a few, and then hundreds joined in like it was some kind of mysterious sheep ritual going on. The farm owner had no idea what was going on. Were they confused or hypnotized? To this day, no one really knows. But this spiral behavior emerging in so many animals is getting a little too weird now. Eternal flame mystery. Here's a strange phenomenon that is actually beautiful and a little spooky too at the same time. This video was taken at Shale Creek Preserve, where a woman caught something really rare. An actual flame burning inside a waterfall. Yeah, that's exactly what you're seeing right now. Real fire behind falling water. It's called the eternal flame, and it's kept alive by natural gas leaking through the rocks. Science has all the answers about it, but locals prefer to believe something else. Some say it's a doorway to another realm, while others believe forest spirits lit it long ago to protect the land. What do you think is the case here? Tell me in the comments below. Sardine Beach mystery. This one's honestly kinda sad. In 2023, a whole beach in northern Japan was suddenly covered with thousands of sardines. Local media said it spanned over a kilometer, and no one really knows why it happened. Some say the fish might have hit an unexpected wave of cold water, while others believe they were exhausted after being chased by predators. Either way, the scene looked straight out of an apocalyptic movie, but still no answers about what really caused such a mass beaching. Watery aftermath. This video was captured after a natural incident occurred that hit these areas last year. Millions of spiders had no choice but to escape the rising waters by heading up into the trees. And this is what the aftermath looks like. They turned the entire trees into giant webs. Locals filmed this eerie sight on their phones. And honestly, it looks like these forests were decorated for Halloween. The trees were wrapped in thick spider webs, almost like ghostly cocoons. Well, it's not something you see every day, and definitely not something you'd want to walk into. Monkey brawl. Thai monkeys often declare ownership of the streets, turning them into their playground. But this one time, things got a bit too wild. It happened during COVID-19 in Lopburi, when a huge brawl broke out over a single pot of yogurt. Yep, not kidding. With tourists gone during the lockdown, these monkeys aren't getting the usual treats they were used to. So now every bit of food is a big deal for them. Strange tree. Ever seen a tree that looks like it's hurt? Well, don't worry, this is not what you think. It's called the bloodwood tree, found in parts of Africa and tropical regions. That red liquid pouring out when it's cut is just sap. This sap is known to be a source of natural healing with stuff like tannins that protect the tree itself. When the bark of this tree is damaged, it releases the sap, which then seals and heals it. Pretty good at protecting, right? Crimson sky. This strange phenomenon left people in China totally stunned when people witnessed the sky over Jushan, a city in eastern China, suddenly turning a deep, glowing red, like the whole sky was on fire. Videos of the scene went viral on the internet, and people couldn't stop talking about it. People had divided views about it, but experts later explained that it was just a rare weather phenomenon. That red glow actually came from the lights on fishing boats on the shore, but it definitely got people scratching their heads. Now it's time for today's strangest, most unusual sighting of the day. And of course, the subscribers pick you've been waiting for. Now this one's seriously wild. Imagine you're just walking outside in the rain, and suddenly fish started falling down from the sky. Yeah, real moving fish. That's exactly what happened in a few places recently, and so many people even caught it on video during a heavy downpour. You can literally see fish dropping from above and flopping on the ground like it's totally normal. So what's going on here? Experts later revealed that it was because of waterspouts, like those tiny tornadoes over water that suck up fish and toss them into the sky. And when the wind's gone, it just rains them down. Look at these people just casually collecting them, probably to cook them for dinner, because why let any of it go to waste? And you shouldn't let your efforts go to waste, so like this video, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. It helps it grow and makes it easier to give you quality content on repeat. Thank you, and see you next time.